Hi, everyone, and welcome to Story Station with Words Alive, where every day we read a story together because we know that stories connect us, especially when those stories help us learn about other kinds of people and places and things, and in this case, other kinds of families. Every day on Story Station with Words Alive, we read because we know that those stories also help us become deeper thinkers, especially when we talk and think about what we're reading. Before we read our story today, let's get our bodies ready first, and then we'll sing our song about the parts of the book. Can you make a letter C with your hands? Nice job! Okay, now put on your listen so that you can hear all the words to this story. Something very interesting about our story today is that it's based on real things and real penguins, and I'll tell you about them. Now, let's put on our looking eyes. Make a little O's with your hands. Okay, now come put them on. Good job. Screw them in nice and tight so we can see all the illustrations. And now let's turn on our responder voice. Reach out in front of you. Now bring it to your throat and turn up the volume. Whoop! Very nice. Now we're going to sing that song about the parts of the book because it helps us remember what the author and the illustrator do and where the spine and the title are located. If you have a book at home, go grab it so that you can touch your book while you read along with me. I have a big bookshelf in my house where we keep our books and keep them safe because they are treasures and we want to take good care of them. I can wait for a second while you go grab your book. Oh, great. So glad you're back. Here's mine. We're going to touch while we sing. Are you ready? The title's on the front. The title's on the front. Hi ho, biblio, the title's on the front. Now we're going to open it up and find some words. The author writes the words. The author writes the words. Hi ho, biblio, the author writes the words. The illustrator draws. The illustrator draws. Hi ho, biblio, the illustrator draws. Now close it and touch this one right here. The spine binds the book. The spine binds the book. Hi ho, biblio, the spine binds the book. And now it's time to read. Oh, now it's time to read. Hi ho, biblio, now it's time to read. Lovely job! Today's story is called And Tango Makes Three. I see 3 penguins here on the cover. 1, 2, 3. Any guesses which one might be Tango? The little one, the baby penguin. This is the story about her little family of 3 and something that makes them interesting and special. And the cool thing is that this story, what happened in this story, really happened. This is a story about penguins at the zoo at Central Park in New York. And we'll read some special notes from the author at the end of the story. The author of this story, there's 2 of them, named Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell. And this story was illustrated by Henry Cole. Let's see what happens. Oh, there's 2 little penguins. Come on. Oh, yeah, and here is a little picture of the Central Park Zoo in New York. In the middle of New York City, there's a great big park called Central Park, and children love to play there. It has a toy boat pond where you can sail your boats. It has a carousel to ride on in the summer and an ice rink to skate on in the winter. Wow, there's always something cool to do there. And best of all, it's a very own zoo. Every day, families of all kinds go to visit the animals that live there. Here's the entrance to the zoo. But children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. The animals make families of their own. There are red panda bear families with mothers and fathers and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey dads and monkey moms raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families and toucan families and cotton top tamarin families too. These are the tamarins. I like them a lot because they have black and white. Their coloring is so cool, and they have fancy long hair. And in the penguin house, there are penguin families, of course. Have you ever been to a zoo or SeaWorld, something like that, where you've seen penguins? Show me how they walk. Yeah, they kind of waddle back and forth and back and forth. And you know what else is interesting? Penguins are birds that can't fly. Oh, but you know what? They don't really need to fly because they actually spend more of their time swimming, all in the water. Every year at the very same time, the girl penguins start noticing the boy penguins, and the boy penguins start noticing the girl penguins. And when the right girl and the right boy find each other, they become a couple. Two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy and the other was named Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, and they did everything together. They bowed to each other and walked together. They sang to each other and swam together. Wherever Roy went, Silo went too. Man, they paired up. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other, and their keeper, Mr. Gramsay, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love. Roy and Silo watched how other penguins made a home. So they built a nest of stones for themselves. And every night, Roy and Silo slept there together, just like the other penguin couples. Now, friends, take a look. Their bed is a little collection of rocks. Tell me with a thumbs up or thumbs down. Would you like to sleep on a pile of rocks at night? Thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down, no. I don't think I'd want to sleep on a pile of rocks. Probably because I don't think it'd be very comfortable. Hey, but you know what? That's what penguins make their nests out of. And every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together. But one day, Roy and Silo saw that the other couples could do something that they could not. The mama penguin would lay on an egg. She and the papa penguin would take turns keeping the egg warm until finally it would hatch. And then there would be a baby penguin, a penguin chick. Oh, look, they're like cute and gray and fluffy. Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on and keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed and cuddle and love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty. And one day Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to their nest. Good thinking, Roy. It was only a rock, but Silo carefully sat on it and sat and sat. And when Silo got sleepy, he slept. And when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam and Roy sat. And day after day, Silo and Roy sat on the rock. But nothing happened. Darn. Why do you think nothing happened to that rock? Yeah, it wasn't an egg. Rocks aren't living things, so babies aren't going to come out of them. When Mr. Gramsay got an idea, ooh, that's usually a cool part of a story when you hear someone's got an idea, because then we get to see what it is. He found an egg that needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and Silo's nest. So check it out. Can you pretend to be Mr. Gramsay? Take your egg, now Put it gently in the nest of rocks. Nice. Now be very careful, don't touch it, because eggs are very fragile. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the center of the nest, and every day they turned it so each side stayed warm. That is so smart. Some days Roy sat while Silo went for food, and other days it was Silo's turn to take care of their egg. Wow, I like the way they share the load. They sat in the morning and they sat at night. They sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month. They sat at the end of the month. They sat all the days in between. Phew, parents do so much to take care of their babies, huh? What do you think is going to happen? Friends, zoom in with your looking eye and tell me what you see in the illustrations. What do you think is going to happen to that egg? You think it's going to hatch? Let's see. Until one day, they heard a sound coming from inside their egg. Beep, 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 beep. It said. Roy and Silo called back, squawk, squawk, beep, 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 answered the egg. Oh, and now look at all these different pictures of the egg. What do you notice about the egg in these different pictures? Yes, I see cracks. Tell me more. A crack, a hole is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And look what's popping out. Cheep, 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 cheep. Suddenly, a tiny hole appeared in the egg's shell. And then, crack. Out came their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and a fuzzy black beak. Do you see her cute little beak? She has a little squishy face. Now Roy and Silo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, said Mr. Gramsay, because it takes two to make a tango. Roy and Silo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry, and they fed her food from their beaks. Take a look at that. Something fun to go look up on the internet afterwards might be pictures of how penguins take care of their babies. They bring food back in their mouth because they don't have any pockets and their flippers can't reach, so they hold it in their mouth. And when they get to where their baby is, they open their mouth like this, and their baby puts its mouth inside and gets the food up. I don't think I'd want to eat my food that way. How about you? But it works for penguins because that's how their bodies are designed. Let's see. Roy and Silo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry, and they fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled her in their nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin in the zoo to have two daddies. Wow. Soon, Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest. Roy and Silo took her for a swim, just like all the other penguin families. And all the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her two fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. Hooray, Roy! Hooray, Silo! Welcome, Tango! They cheered. All right. I love how those families are cheering them on. They're so excited to see the penguins, and I bet it's extra special to get to see Tango and Roy and Silo in real life, up close. At night, the three penguins returned to their nest. There they snuggled together, and like all the other penguins in the penguin house, and all the other animals in the zoo, and all the families in the big city around them, they went to sleep. The end. Friends, that's the end of the story. But here we have something special. It's an author's note. It's where the author gives us a little bit more information about the story. Would you like to hear it? Great. It says, all the events in this story are true. Roy and Silo were called chin-strap penguins because of the delicate line of black feathers that loops under their beaks as if to hold a hat in place. After years of living side by side in the Central Park Zoo, they discovered each other in 1998, and they have been a couple ever since. Tango, their only chick, was born from an egg laid by another penguin couple named Betty and Porky. That couple had often hatched their own eggs, but they had never been able to care for more than one at a time. In 2000, when Betty laid two fertile eggs, Rob Ramsay decided to give Roy and Silo and one of those eggs a chance to become a family. If you go to the Central Park Zoo, you can see Tango and her parents splashing about in the penguin house along with their friends, including Nipper, Squawk, Charlie, Wasabi, and Pee-wee. There are 42 chin-strap penguins in the Central Park Zoo and over 10 million chin-strap penguins in the world. But there is only one Tango. Whoa. The end. What a neat story. One of my favorite things about reading stories and sharing them with you is that it gives us a chance to learn and see new things. I never knew there was a baby penguin chick out there with two daddies, and now we know. You can find And Tango Makes Three by Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell, illustrated by Henry Cole, at the Words Alive Story Station page of our website, wordsalive.org/storystation. You can also find this story and all the stories we've read for Story Station this summer on Words Alive's YouTube channel, Words Alive SD. Thank you so much for reading with us. It's our favorite thing to do with you, and we can't wait to see you next time. Take care.